Because of what I'm about to talk, well, all my videos are my own opinions based on the information that is out there. However, these are truly my thoughts and opinions. Please be aware of that and feel free to make comments, but always responsibly, okay? Isn't this beautiful, guys? I thought I'd show you how pretty it is today. It's still a little bit chilly, but it's really sunny. Do you see the little duckies there? I don't know if you can see the little duckies there. Let me see if I can. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? Yeah. That's where I usually jump off from the ocean. So what do you guys think? This is just gorgeous, guys. I love taking you on my walk. So I hope you like it. Anyways, let's get started. And please keep in mind that these are all my thoughts and opinions. Okay? So it is really beautiful outside, guys. So I went for my walks. I'm gonna start my walks anyway. So I wanted to talk about a few things. And again, I say once more that these are my thoughts and opinions, okay? There's a reason why they are international children's rights. And the reason for that is to make sure that all children are protected worldwide. This is by UNICEF, the children's rights organizations, the UN. You can Google them. Now, family plays a very important role. And by family, I just don't mean the parents, because as we all know, parents can exploit children and damage and abuse. In fact, quite a lot of the abuse at home happens, it's done by the parents or a close family member. But the reason that extended family members, the role that they play, it's one, because the extended family provides you with a context of history, traditions, love, care, and protection, but mostly safety. Why do I say that? Because if a child grows up with other family members, with watching their interaction between the parents and the child, family members will be able to detect whether something is not right and report it. Because let's not forget that a child is vulnerable until the age of 18. Well, if, for example, in the Hague International Convention, it's the age of 16. This is why when you go to the judges from the age of 7, even younger, if the child seems mature for his age, even from the age of 7 or younger, sometimes younger depending on the child, they will take the child's testimony into consideration before they issue a ruling, right? And this is why they have children psychologists come and talk to the people. But what happens when there's nobody supervising, when family members are cut off from any contact from the child? Who's there to indicate that there's exploitation, abuse ongoing against a minor by a parent? Now, the first thing that abusive people do is cut you off from everybody else, because they don't want witnesses to what they're doing. I don't know if this makes sense to you guys, right? Please let me know, because I don't want people to think that I am being like mean just for the sake of being mean. But it is the truth. An abusive person, the first thing they will do is isolate you. It's completely isolation. Now, everybody has been acting on two things. Harry could have, at any point in time, he could have sought help for his wife's mental well-being, which he didn't, in spite of the fact that he had all the resources. We know that to be a lie. This is my very personal opinion. I don't think she had any mental health issues other than trying to get out with all the titles and everything, so she can go and exploit the titles along with the child. throwing a tantrum is not the same as being abused, which is what I think Harry and his wife were doing. Because remember the famous sentence, whatever Meghan wants, Meghan gets. And when she doesn't get it, she throws a tantrum. Now, usually a child is removed from an abusive, dangerous environment to a healthy, loving, safe environment. In this case, in my opinion, it didn't happen. They took Archie from a loving, safe environment surrounded with loving family members who could protect him to an unsafe, isolating environment. And they did that using lies. They accused the royal family of being racist and abusive, because that's really what they accused the royal family. Not only the royal family, the entire country of the United Kingdom. Because let's face it, they didn't have to leave the UK. They didn't. They could have been like, what's her name? Princess Eugenie and Beatrice, or all the other royals who were there. But they branded an entire nation unsafe, dangerous for them. So they could justify removing the child. And I say they because Harry was in on it as well. Removing the child from a loving, safe environment to a completely different continent. I mean, they didn't even stay in Europe. They went to California, in one of the most dangerous, the second most dangerous city in the United States, to be exploited by them, to be abused. That is abuse. When you exploit a child, that there are laws against exploiting children. Now, why do I say that? Because these are all my thoughts and opinions. This is the last time I want to say it, so you know. There's absolutely no doubt that Harry's wife contacted the pap to take the walk with the child, fully exposing his face, because there's no lawsuit. To exploit a child, while claiming that in the UK, when nobody was doing that to him, the press was not being racist. The press was calling them out on all the wrongdoings and even unlawful behavior. They removed this child so they can exploit it without supervision. That is abuse, guys. That is abuse. Now, Doria, a lot of people have written to me that Doria is there with them. Doria is a woman who herself is exploiting the situation and her own grandchild for her own benefit. Doria, in my opinion, is a grifter. She wrongly accused Mr. Markle of abuse and being alcoholic so she could get custody and money, until it was the other way around. So let's not forget about it. Everybody's there to exploit that child. Doria and her daughter Meghan are there to exploit the children and the royal family. That this is a no-brainer. Now, a lot of you have written me and said, Archie's safe. Safe from whom? He was never in danger. He's in danger now. He's in danger now because there's nobody there looking out for him. Harry and his wife are not looking out for that child. They're exploiting that child. Now, again, Harry could have found proper mental health for his wife in the UK. They could have even flown other people in if she didn't trust him, because let's not forget it, she picked her own medical team. So what they did is basically they lied. They lied. And that is not even an ethical issue anymore. That is a criminal one. Because if you lie to remove a child from a safe and loving environment, to take him to an unsafe and isolating environment, that is a criminal offense. Now, I don't think people, and this is for those bullies that defend them, Harry's mob, what they don't understand is the following. The royal family gave them an option not to have additional titles, not to be working members of the royal family, for Meghan to just be Meghan Markle, and for her to go back to acting. They even offered to help, right? So they were given that so they could live their lives normally without any privileges. So Meghan Markle would have been, for example, like Princess Eugenie's husband with no titles. She would have had, she doesn't have to date any titles, but she's allowed to use Harry's titles. You know, they have extended that courtesy to her. So she does not, I repeat, she does not have any titles herself. Now, they lied. And they lied. It's been proven that they lied because they have said repeatedly, even Oprah said repeatedly, that she had been having conversations with them prior to them getting married. So on the day that they got that Duke and Duchess Duke title, and Harry got that Duke title, he knew then that he was leaving the UK. He knew then that when he accepted and told the royal family and insisted on getting titles, additional titles and privileges, he knew that he was leaving the royal family. So that is fraud. And not only that, I think that people are very upset that she called the marriage spectacle. Not because it wasn't a spectacle, but it's the way she did it, because she made it sound as though that event was even forced upon her, like though she was a forced bride, like she had no choice and she had to do it, in spite of the fact that she had been nagging to have that big spectacle, as she called it. As she said, I don't want this. I'm pretty sure that the royal family would have said, you know, we respect the couple's privacy. They don't want to have a big public wedding. We do accept your good wishes. We will donate this. Please, if you want to donate or something on their behalf, please do so. Here it is, or whatever. And they could have gotten married very quietly. But that's not the case, because what Meghan wants, Meghan gets, according to Harry. But what's happened is she doesn't get. She gets her foot in, but then she screws it up because she is not smart. People keep going, oh, she's smart. No, she's not smart. She wouldn't be in the position she's in if she were smart. So, and that's the problem that a lot of people have. Have they said, you know what, we just want a private wedding. We understand you guys want to have a big wedding, but we don't want to do that. We want to spare the taxpayers money, and we're not going to remain in the UK. We're going to go to California because Meghan is from there and she wants to continue working. I think that they would have had everybody's respect, love, and support, and probably doors would have been open for her, even though she doesn't have any talent. She would have still been respected, loved, and supported. But that's not what they did. Because had they said, that's what we want to do, that's what our end game is, then they wouldn't have gotten more titles. Then they wouldn't have gotten press exposure. So, and this is where everybody's issue is with. Not only that, they left the UK, the country, claiming that the UK was so racist, so abusive, that it put their lives in danger in order for them to get free security paid for by the UK taxpayers. So actually it's not free, it's paid for by somebody. Somebody has to pay these people. So they wanted to continue living with the privileges of senior royals not doing their job. I am very upset. My Twitter post about the petition has been removed. I have appealed it with Twitter. I don't know what's going on. I will end up posting it somewhere. The YouTube hasn't responded to me. They said it takes 7 days to respond and appeal. But there is nothing wrong with requesting that an independent body supervise the royals. There has to be an amendment to the 1869 Bill of Rights to define the role of the monarchy, to protect the titles and the usage of the monarchy. Sarah Ferguson has even a YouTube channel. She looks crazed reading children's book. Now, this is a woman, and again, I go about this, who's still using the Duchess of York title. You know, she shouldn't. A title is not like a last name. A title should not be extended to ex-wives. Only British people should have the use of royal titles. Asking for the royal titles to be protected, it's not something that is not logical or sensible. It has to be done, because if you don't have like a supervisor, or like, because the royal family members currently, they need supervisor. The dignity at work policy doesn't work, because nobody who's supervising the people who are supposed to be implementing them, because they have shown that to be failing. Jason Kanoff, finally came after he was told to come out to testify. So the current royal family members, as hard as it is, I love the monarchy, but the monarchy only works if its members are respectable, credible, honest, deserving of, and represent the dignity of that office. I mean, I think that one of the things that was really powerful for us is when the Queen knighted, Captain Tom, is because both of those individuals embodied higher standards of how we should be. I don't want to be knighted by Prince Andrew or Prince Harry, would you? What do they embody? They're both questionable. They're both, in my opinion, crooks, alongside with Meghan Markle. Doria Ragland, to me, she's a crook who's exploiting she can't probably believe her luck, how she ended up having that. She says, this is a woman, this is a CEO for a cash-only business who are exploiting elderly people in their hour of need. So this is what we're dealing with. Now, a lot of it, and I don't know if you guys know, I think you guys understand the anger that the standards for what the royal family members should behave has been gone, and nobody's holding them accountable. Now, the Duke of Sussex title can be either rescinded or made extinct, and the rules for that have to be implemented. So please write that. Harry and Meghan and Prince Andrew are still on that website as today. Please, I urge you guys to go to the royal family website, because they're counting on us giving up. The royal family don't understand that they're dealing with a monster called internet and freedom of speech. Even though they, as hard as they try to censor it, people still find a way to expose things, to demand things. And the internet is a place for it, in spite of the amazing, incredible censorship that is ongoing. And they're trying to muzzle people. I do believe even the royal family, even the most respected ones, are trying to do that. So please go to them and demand on their website on a daily basis that they remove Harry, Meghan, and Prince Andrew from that website. Because they no longer represent the Queen. Harry doesn't live in the UK. He has denounced the UK. He has lied about the UK. I mean, it's incredible. So, in my opinion, social services should be contacted, because nobody's looking out for that little boy. Nobody. Everybody's trying to exploit it. Oprah is trying to exploit that child, and the ties associated with that child. They all are. They're all exploiting a 2-year-old boy. This is how bad and terrible it is. And they are justifying it as for charity. I mean, that vaccine thing is a joke. I wonder if they're getting any cut from any donations given to that vaccine that they asked. That has to be investigated. If they are getting a cut from any money donated on their behalf. That's how vile and low things are. I really do believe social services have to be contacted. I do believe that Oprah, Meghan Markle, Doria Ragland, and even Harry are exploiting a 2-year-old because the titles are not enough. Meghan Markle is a talentless hustler, a criminal, in my opinion, who has shown capable of lying. Now, Oprah Winfrey's doing this Apple thing about mental health with Harry. It's clear that Oprah is really determined to sinking her ship faster than he would if let alone. Because how can she be doing a mental health show with Harry, a man who couldn't even help his own wife, in spite of the fact that he was the leader of a mental health organization, that he did have help, that he did have. I can understand if he says, I didn't want to take the help, but for him to say that help was denied, that's another lie, and that's a slander. So Oprah is sinking her ship even faster by doing this show with Harry when everybody knows that he's lying, that they're both lying. Everybody knows about its mental health issues because they did that interview with Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge. And he openly talked about mental health issues and how he was getting help and stuff like that. So everybody knew. Everybody's known. This is a secret. It wasn't even a secret. Everybody knew that they were having. So it's amazing that Oprah is choosing to continue exploiting this. Now, can you imagine that poor kid Archie? Meghan Markle, the only reason why she's not showing his hair. I don't know if you guys saw that in Instagram. This lady by mistake published a picture of Archie, and you can clearly see how white he is in his red hair. So Harry and his wife are trying to confuse this child with race. This child is so white, but yet they're trying to portray him to the world as an abused colored kid. There's no such thing. Harry's wife is not even dark. People are confusing mixed heritage with color, skin color. I have 4 different heritages that I know of, but I'm white. I mean, you can clearly see my skin is white, you know. So anyways, I'm sorry this thing has gone on a little bit long. It's just that I got so many emails in regards to Archie that I do believe that child is now in danger. Social services should be contacted, and this should not be stopped. I do believe that an independent governing body should be appointed to supervise the royals' behavior, actions, and monitor them, and to also investigate the claims stated in that Oprah interview and hold people accountable. I don't know. What do you guys think? I might be crazy. Please click subscribe. It's free. Like my video and share it. I hope you enjoy the walk, guys. And thank you for watching. I'm sorry it was a little bit long, but this was in my mind. I really do think that that kid is in danger. I really don't think that that child is in a healthy environment. But that's just my opinion.